In homage to somebody's comment and to Family Guy, you know what grinds my gears is people that always hearken to the grass is greener. Harken back to some mystical day and age when everybody got along, everything was happy, we didn't have governments that controlled us, and there weren't all these conspiracies and yada yada yada. And I'm reading this article right now about how the modern society and the evils of the modern society, and um, how we don't do this and how we used to do that, and how now things are terrible and things used to be great, and it's exhausting. And some people, their whole subscriber base in YouTube, or if they're an author, or if they're a talk show host, that's what people thrive upon, is listening and absorbing all this spew about how terrible things are, and how this person or that group or that government, or just on and yada yada yada. People love to complain, and then there's people that love to eat the poop, so to speak. So now, again, not black or white issue. There are some things that definitely need complaining about and readdressing, and I love Paul Watson got into the show. I don't even know the name of it. Defense of the Whales, or but the Sea Shepherd, the boat that goes out to the Antarctic to be a wrench in the gears of the Japanese who are killing whales. And yeah, there's some things that really grind people's gears, and they take action, and they're motivated, they change their lifestyle, and that is fantastic, and I applaud those people. And then there's the majority that just love to sit and wallow in the pity party and how terrible things are. So I was reading this paper, and it was just, like I said, it was just going on and on about how terrible modern society is, and how terrible the how families are, the breakdowns of the family, and how we don't talk to our neighbors. And I was thinking, you know what? Sometimes I'm glad in different places I live that some neighbors I don't talk to. I don't want to talk to them. Just because someone's my neighbor, does that mean I have to become their best friend? It's just this whole mentality about, it's where you shine the light. Every era from the dawn of man has had positive and negative. And where do we choose to shine the flashlight? I have another friend who was staying in a kind of like a cheap motel, and he was saying, God, it's just amazing the conveniences and the blessings we have now. You go in and you turn on hot or cold water. You could take a hot shower. You can watch TV. You can make a phone call. You can go step outside and get a ready cooked meal. And, just life's not that bad. And if we keep on complaining that life is that bad, and look anywhere else besides the mirror, then something's wrong with us. And especially people that, I'm talking about people that are able to watch this video, and people in the Western world. I totally understand that, for the majority of the world, there is immense suffering, and that life is hard. But, likely those aren't the people that are watching these videos and have access to a computer. And but the real question is, what are we doing about it? What are you doing about it? If you're going to complain, man, take action. Otherwise, let's keep our mouths shut. Um, so, and I can't remember which video. One of my videos, I got into a heated comment discussion about back in the agrarian era, how much better things were, and how peaceful life was and everybody just got along. And come on, there might be short span. Let's wake up and get real. There might be short spans of this supposed utopian peace. But when I read history, from the dawn of man, there has been war, there has been violence, there has been man trying to conquer other cultures, other people, because resources are limited. And as long as you have limited resources, you're going to have turmoil, you're going to have war, and you're going to have, just a world that is not our utopian ideal. And does that make it right? Should that excuse it? Should we do nothing? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying let's have a dose of reality. Many people live in fantasy land, and that's what causes them to suffer. Is the real world doesn't match is not in accordance with their fantasy or their expectation or how the world should be according to them. And the world is never going to be this utopian society. I don't care what people say, it's always going to be struggle. It's always going to be suffering. Life is going to be hard. Life is going to be challenging. And the quicker we embrace that, the sooner we can be at peace. The sooner we can let go of all our endless of attachments, desires, expectations, and just be. Okay, the world sucks, life sucks, now what? And let's stop deluding ourselves with this grass is all greener, and things were so much better, and this, you hear people in the 2000s say, oh, things were much better in the 90s, and people in the 90s, things were so much better in the 80s. Things were in the people in the 80s, things were much better in the 70s, and then but the 60s, the decade of awakening and liberation. I mean, there was countless wars in the 60s and violence, and we continued to delude ourselves and really focus on what the real problem is. It's us. It's within. We so badly want to send a man to the moon or to other planets. And Stephen Hawking recently said, if it's going to be the end of humankind as we know it, unless we start colonizing other planets. And I'm like, man, we haven't even colonized the planet within. We don't even know who we are, absent of all the programming and crap that we've just fed ourselves or been fed for a lifetime. So the grass is not greener. Things are not better. You talk to people then, and people will complain in that day and age that the grass was greener back in another era, like I said. So let's just stop deluding ourselves, and let's get real and say, you know what? If I'm unhappy, and now it's not a black or white, in the majority of cases, if I'm unhappy, what can I do to heal myself or to fix a situation or to put my life back on track? And instead of living in fairyland, because I think the delusions in the fairyland and when we read certain books or watch television programs or become envious of other people's lives, we only see the cotton candy unicorns and fairies, and we don't see all the hardships, struggles, and turbulation. And that's where peace lies. Is not only getting real with other people, but getting real with ourselves.